Okay, here, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Asta was a reincarnation of Toji Fushiguro, part 1 of this What If. So, before I continue on, I know a lot of you are going to be wondering, wait, what about the Naruto What Ifs that you need to be doing? Well, I'm going to do them later, but right now, I am doing something else, like this What If. But other than that, let me just begin this What If, and let me shut the fuck up, but yeah. But for right now, let me begin. So, we begin into mostly Asta. Asta is right now kind of, well, born. Of course, he is kind of left in the orphanage like original canon. But of course, well, he's left with his brother's name is Yuno. Now, just like somewhat in the original canon, mostly Asta has no magic, but he also has a heavily restriction on him. So basically, he is going to be fit as shit when he's a little bit older. But of course, or I mean, he's still fit as shit, but not the point. Even when he's younger, he still has that strength of like Toji Fushiguro, but he needs to train it so he can actually kind of look like a goddamn athlete, but not the point. But of course, with that happening, mostly he also has, well, not really has, but he, well, let me say this again. Fuck, I'm fucking this up. Before I actually go on, I actually want to mention something. Someone else is actually going to do this What If. Not the exact same thing as me, but they're going to do it differently. I forgot their name. I think it was like Con What Ifs or Code What Ifs. I don't remember what fucking Dante told me, or Singularity. Singularity is the person that I've been doing What Ifs with, collab, but yeah. But not the point. He said something about like his friend, or mostly the What If YouTuber is going to be doing it, something like that. But that's not the point. Now, let me begin this What If, and let me shut the fuck up. Sorry, I'm rambling on. If I can get the person's link, I would just link it down, and you can go watch his kind of mostly direction and how he's going to do it. I don't actually know on how he's going to do it. I just know that from some things that mostly Dante told me, that mostly how the guy's going to do it is going to be a little bit different, probably. I hope it's not the exact same thing, because, well, if it is, we either have one singular mind together, or what the fuck, how the hell do we get the exact same thing? Which I'm not trying to do something like that. I don't really like doing something like that, no. But other than that, let me just fucking stop rambling on. Let me just begin, okay? Sorry. But of course, we go into mostly, well, Asta. Asta would still help Yuno in that whole kind of like getting the necklace back from that drunken guy. But the drunken guy says, "Why, you little brat!" He tries to punch at Asta and Yuno. Yuno tries to use a bit about his wind magic to stop the punch from punching Asta, but it hits Asta, and of course Asta kind of got hurt, but he got more angrier than getting hurt, because, well, he kind of did awaken Toji a little bit of Toji's personality. So of course, well, before mostly the person can actually kind of get pushed away a little bit by Yuno, and so other people can actually see what exactly is happening, Asta appears right now kneeing the person so hard in the face. Now, of course, he didn't even know he can do that. He, like, literally blinked out of existence and just kicked him right in the face. He was confused until he kind of looks at mostly Yuno to see Yuno's okay, and mostly Asta sees that he knocks out someone, even though he's still a child, but not the point. This is where, well, both of them just fucking ran, because, well, mostly Asta says, "We gotta get out of here." This is where, well, they both ran, but yeah. But over time, mostly Asta realized that people do look down on him because he has no magic, while Yuno has lots of magic and he is kind of respected a little bit. This is where, well, sorry about that. Sorry, I forgot I left a timer open. Well, I had a timer still on. I forgot to disconnect that, mostly dismiss it. But yeah, pretty much that timer was actually for either me or my sibling to kind of go get the dryer and like open it, because my mom would usually be pissed if we just leave it over 10 minutes. But yeah, and it hasn't been 10 minutes when I was recording this. I forgot to discontinue it. But yeah, or not discontinue. Mostly disconnected from it, mostly alerting me throughout this video. But yeah, sorry about that. So if you just heard that, so yeah, sorry. Also, if you're wondering what kind of song that is, that's a prong, but yeah. Or funk. Or prong. Whatever you think about it, but yeah. But not the point. So mostly, while over time, mostly Asta kind of realized that people do kind of respect mostly Yuno, and doesn't really respect him because he doesn't have magic. Asta kind of gets the feeling that pretty much people that see, well, mostly look down upon him, he was going to decide to, well, prove them a little bit wrong, well, mostly not wrong, mostly just prove them that he is stronger than them, but he needs to train to actually do that. But this is where over time he's training his body. He kind of realized that why would he want to become the Magic Knight, or not Magic Knight, Wizard King, when he can literally just realize one thing. He doesn't have magic, so how could he become the Wizard King? So instead of just becoming the Wizard King, he changed his goal after a while. Mostly after a while, after a while, he kind of left Hodge Village to go do his own thing. At 10 years old, he kind of just fucking left. He just left. He kind of just went to disappear. Yuno was confused but sad, very sad, from the fact that his friend, his only brother, the only person that he ever saw as a rival, just fucking dip. This is where, well, we go into 5 years later. Now Yuno's 15 and, well, Yuno's actually getting his Grimoire. Well, we go into mostly a person with kind of, well, darkish kind of white hair, or mostly darkish kind of blondish ash blonde hair, but not the point. This is where, well, he has dark green eyes, and this is where, well, he is right now in the middle of a little fight with some, well, Magic Knights. This is where, well, the Magic Knight says, "Get him! Don't let him escape! Don't let the Mage Killer escape!" This is where the person says, "Get out of my way, you weaklings." This is where, well, he pulls out mostly pulls out his, like, sword out of nowhere, mostly out of this, like, little worm thing that they can't really understand what is it. But this is where he pulls out a sword and says, "Die." He slaughtered them all down. This is where, well, they were all killed in an instant. This is where he throws the blood down from his sword. He, like, wipes it off by just splattering it down on the ground. This is where he just gets annoyed and says, "Stupid fucking mages. Always on my ass just because I killed one of your nobles because someone else told me to do it." Or mostly not told me, but now I got money with it. This is where, well, he kind of noticed that where he's at, he's actually near Hodge Village, and says, if it isn't my old village, I could go see, what was his name again? Yuno? Was that his name? God, I can barely remember his name. Fuck it. Should I go see him? He'd probably be so angry at me and kind of acting such naiveness to think I will become a Magic Knight or some kind of random bullshit. Those dreams died a long time ago, ever since I found out that, well, no matter how strong, mostly how much training I do, I will never become a, well, Magic Knight, because it literally has one word that I don't have. Magic. And I don't have magic. But maybe I should go check on him. Maybe. Yeah, I'll go check on him. This is where, well, mostly he decides to get the money he still had and still kind of just put it into his pocket clothing. Also, I should mention, well, he kind of looks like this. He kind of looks like this outfit, but yeah. So he does kind of have like short white hair, this blackish grayish clothing, and of course mostly does like white kind of mask for right now, so mostly no one can actually see who he entirely is, but yeah. Now, the reason why I have that picture there is because mostly, yeah, like I mentioned, that's mostly his normal clothing. And when he's actually not going to go assassinate anyone, he just wants to be kind of casual, he will kind of just wear something like this, kind of something right here in the background, but yeah. But this is where, well, he kind of starts walking into Hodge Village. This is where, well, mostly he's like walking in, and this is where, well, no one actually really seems to care and what this person is. Now I should mention one thing. While mostly Asta in original canon would be like 5'1", right now he's not 5'1". He is actually taller. He's actually the height of, well, this is where, well, mostly he is the height of, well, like mostly 6 feet, but not the point. He got an actually taller and leaner and much stronger. But this is where, well, his hair, I did mention it's a little bit dark, but yeah, not the white color like that, but mostly like dark, kind of grayish. But not the point. This is where, well, he's walking into the place while kind of actually putting on a hood so no one can actually recognize him. So no more random fucking Magic Knights can actually go attack him and try to get his bounty that's on top of his head, but whatever. But of course, well, he walks into this place and of course just kind of looks around. He doesn't actually have a grimoire, so of course not really many people decide to bother him or whatever. And they can barely even sense him, but yeah, since he doesn't have any magic, 0. But this is where, well, he walks into this place and just kind of, well, looks around. This is where, well, he is kind of, well, trying to look for Yuno. until this is where he overheard about like the Grimoire kind of, mostly Grimoire Tower and blah blah blah. He kind of questioned the two people. The two people would say that the Grimoire place would be over there. You better hurry, kid. Which they can only guess that this person's a young man to go get his Grimoire. Which they didn't see a Grimoire on him, so that's why they're guessing. But yeah. Which we'll see, Asta kind of just like ignored them and while went to the Grimoire kind of tower. But this is where, well, lots of people are walking out trying to just like go get their, mostly, or leave with their Grimoires. They either have small, big, skinny, whatever. You get the point. They just don't have, what's it called? Some of them don't really have many talents. While mostly this is where, well, Asta kind of just ignores them entirely. Mostly ignores all the other people that he's walking by. This is where, well, mostly he keeps walking by like multiple people and just kind of get into the tower. Just to see mostly two nobles get trapped in chains and even Yuno get himself trapped in chains. This is where, well, Yuno kind of says, "That's my Grimoire. Give me it back." This is where, well, mostly the person kind of looks at, well, Yuno and says, okay, I'm sorry about the whole freaking loud ass kind of like theme song. Just someone called me from some random country. I don't care. But this is where, well, before even like, well, the person can keep going on rambling on talking blah blah blah. This is where, well, Yuno says, "Give me back my Grimoire. You can't use it." This is where, well, the person says, "Oh, I know I can't use it, but someone's going to ask for a good fortune of, well, this Grimoire here. They're going to, well, it's going to go for a lot of money." This is where, well, Asta hears money. That's all he hears, money. But this is where he does know Yuno a little bit. He doesn't really care too much about Yuno. But this is where, well, he does care about that money. He's actually thinking about that money. Until he recognized, well, mostly Jack. And actually realized that this guy actually also has a bounty on him. Like an actual bounty on this guy. This guy, or not Jack, his name is, Chain Guy. I don't remember his goddamn actual name. But this is where, well, it's probably not important. But this is where, well, mostly the guy is laughing and saying, "Oh, well, too bad, kid. It's now my book. I'm going to just sell it off." This is where, well, he goes on and on and on. This is where, well, Asta appears in front of him in the exit. This is where the two nobles were confused. Until, well, mostly they can't really do anything. But of course, Asta really doesn't like the nobles. He would kill them because, well, they're a bother to him. Because they're really demanding him to help them. Which mostly Asta just ignores them. Like, really, he thinks to kind of using them as like ranch money, just to kind of get more money. But this is where, well, to get the bag. But this is where he just ignores them and just decides to kill them because they were just being annoying as hell. This is where, well, both the chain guy and even Yuno got on guard. But Yuno can barely get on guard because he's still wrapping chains. This is where, well, the guy with mostly chains says, "Who are you?" This is where, well, he kind of looks at the person and it looks familiar. He says, "Who are you?" This is where, well, Asta said, "Me? Oh, you can call me, well, you can call me the Mage Killer." "What? Why are you here?" The chain guy right now gets nervous. Wasn't expecting the Mage Killer to be right in front of him. He's actually been trying to avoid the Mage Killer entirely. Because the Mage Killer kills mages for no other reason than either just for the bag. And this is where, well, he realized that, well, mostly the chain guy does know that he has a bounty on him. So, of course, probably the Mage Killer's after his, like, bounty that's on top of his head. This is where, well, not literally on top of his head, but you get the point. Like, literally, he has a bounty. This is where, well, we'll see the Mage Killer says, "Oh, I'm here for that bounty that's on top of your head. I mean, it's just pocket change, not gonna lie. But, hey, it's still some money. So, prepare to die and give me your head for that pocket change I'm gonna get from that person." This is where, oh, we'll see chain guy glares at mostly, well, none other than Asta. And this is where he sends his chain straight towards Asta. Asta dodges. This is where he jumps on the wall, like right next to him, and starts kind of running through the wall. This is where, like, running on top of the wall, like running, skill running. Not the point. What am I talking about? Not the point. But this is where, well, he's running on the wall while chains is literally hitting behind him. This is where two chains were about to hit him in front. But this is where he grabs him with his bare hands and just fucking move out of the way from the chains actually hitting him. Basically just swinging the chains into a different direction. This is where he jumps down from the wall and rushes towards, well, mostly the mage with chains. The mage says, "Get away from me!" This is where he sends multiple chains, like a wall of chains, straight towards, well, mostly Asta. Asta says, "Perfect." This is where he kind of tells his worm to kind of pull off the, what's it called, heavenly, well, mostly inverted spear of heaven. This is where, yes, basically a blade. It looks like a small dagger, but before the chains can even get close to him, this is where he swings it so fast, randomly, right in front of him. Well, not randomly, but mostly just swings it kind of perfectly. But this is where, well, when the chains got closer, it just got all just like cut in just half and just disappear after a while. This is where, well, mostly chain guys say, "What the? How did you?" This is where, well, mostly us to say, "Shut up already." This is where, well, he then pulls out another blade that looks to just be a regular sword. Or not a regular sword, it looks to be a katana. And before the guy can even understand what happens, this is where his head was cut off and then it's this is where, well, he falls down to the ground. His grimoire was actually dispelling, but yeah, he didn't really care about the grimoire that most of the person's kind of like, mostly he died and other things. But this is where, well, mostly Yuno is shocked. He got free from his chains and says, "What the?" This is where, well, mostly the person with the grimoire is actually, well, mostly not the grimoire, the guy with the dead body and other things, and having the head of the person. This is where he kind of grins having the head of the, well, chain user, but also kind of grins with the grimoire, the 4-leaf grimoire, because he's going to sell it, but yeah, for that bag. So yeah, he's going to go get money. This is where, well, before Yuno says, "Hey, give me a grimoire." This is where, well, the person says, "No can do." You see here, "I'm going to take this grimoire and sell it off. I heard that I can sell off for a lot." Yuno grit his teeth and says, "Why you?" But of course, well, before, well, mostly Yuno can do anything, someone actually appears with a huge water fist from the sky. This is where, well, mostly a holy water fist. This is where, well, he noticed a holy water fist just a little too late, so of course he accidentally dropped the grimoire, but this is where he had to dodge. The water fist almost smashed upon him, but this is where he managed to jump away. This is where, well, he was shocked to actually see a giant water fist, and he knows what that water fist is from. None other than, well, Sister, what's it called? Sister Lily, I think so. So it's Sister Lily, and this is where, well, she actually has her crystallized blue eyes to her blackish hair. She has a nun outfit, and this is where, well, she has her grimoire right now floating next to her. This is where, well, right now, Asta scoffs. He really doesn't care about killing a nun. He doesn't really care about killing anyone because, well, he really has no emotions and no care about anyone. And that's where, well, before Asta can actually do anything, Yuno right now grabs his grimoire, activates mostly a spell called Wind Blast to actually smash well, the Mage Killer into, well, the wall. But before it can actually hit Asta, Asta uses the inverted spear of heaven, which it can literally just nullify what's it called? Well, magic attacks. This is where, well, he cuts it in half, and this is where, well, he glares at Yuno. He would kill Yuno, but that will actually get rid of the grimoire. This is where, well, he scoffs because he really doesn't have actually, well, there's no clue if, well, Yuno has a bounty on him, which, no, probably not, because he's only a 15-year-old kid. Probably in the near future he would, but not right now. This is where, well, also scoffs and realizing he needs to get out of here. Because, truly, he already got the money from the mage bounty chain guy, because, well, he's going to go turn it in. But right now, he needs to get out of here. But before anything else happens, this is where, well, mostly Father, what's it called? Father Orsi's kind of just, well, uses a kind of spell. I think it was fire. I can't remember. But this is where, well, he sent a fireball straight towards Asta, which it wasn't really strong or powerful, which is annoying. And this is where, well, mostly Asta was about to use his kind of, well, mostly inverted spear of heaven, until this is where a book actually appears right in front of him. Well, it was a fireball, but this is where Yuno increased it with wind magic to make a huge fireball. Asta was about to use the inverted spear of heaven to actually cut through it, until a grimoire actually appeared next to him, and this is where, well, it was kind of black and red, and it had 5 leaves, and this is where, well, he was confused in what the hell that is. This is where, well, all that actually appears right in front of him was a giant sword, and this is where, well, the giant sword, he just grabs it and decides to just swing it straight towards, well, the giant fireball. he kind of batters up and just fucking swings the ball back straight towards, well, the others. This is where all of them went in the eyes. Sister Lily was actually using a water holy fist to actually destroy the fireball so it won't hit Father Ortiz or even Yuno. This is where Yuno was about to use wind spell until mostly Asta put the mostly sword back into the Grimoire. It wasn't that heavy, that much, unlike original canon. This is where, well, because he's ripped as hell and kind of leaning up the point. This is where, well, he kind of did accidentally put his, or not accidentally, he just threw his inverted spirit of heaven into the, well, mostly Grimoire, because he realized one thing. This Grimoire seems to not be using magic, the some are same like the others, but it uses something different. He will figure it out later. He grabs the Grimoire and fucking runs it. But yeah, he jumped on the wall and starts kind of like jumping over the entire wall, grabs the tree branch and just runs off. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly the fireball was dispelled thanks to Sister Lily's water, well, mostly holy water fist. But this is where, well, she was confused. That person looked familiar, quite very familiar. She was confused, but she didn't care. She asked Yuno and Father Ortiz if they were okay. This is where the other kids were actually a little scared because they were near Sister Lily. But yeah, but this is where, well, one kid with orange hair for some reason kind of seems not to be too scared, but just a little bit unnerved, kind of. This is where, well, he has kind of violet eyes and he just seems a little bit worried. Just a little bit. But this is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, someone actually appearing in a kind of forest that they're kind of getting the bag of money from, well, the bounty hunter tab. But yeah, this is where he says, well, should probably get ready to go for another bounty hunting strikes. This is where, before he can actually do anything, someone tries to, or like, not someone, right now, a boar is right now, well, kind of chasing someone, and this is where, well, Asta was about to ignore it until the boar and the person appear. The person is literally butt-ass naked, the boar is chasing him, and Asta is right in front of him. This is where Asta says, what the hell? Before mostly anything can happen, the guy with red hair kind of hides behind the Mage Killer, and the boar was about to hit Asta until Asta pulls out mostly his katana, and this is where he slices off, well, slices the, what's it called, boar in half. Psing. This is where, well, Asta just sees the boar get cut in, well, to two, but this is where he looks at the red hair guy and kind of narrow his eyes where murderous look because this guy's already annoyed. Well, mostly Asta's already annoyed. This is where the guy switches up and says, hey, hello. Thanks for help. This is where Asta points the sword towards this guy and says, what the wait, let me say this like one fucking thing. Why are you naked? And why is there a boar chasing you? I didn't know you were into that freaky shit, but don't bother me while I'm walking around here. This is where Asta says towards mostly the red hair. The red hair, hey. No need to be violence here. This is where Asta has a katana still near him. This is where, well, the guy did have a mostly branch. And this is where, well, he then turns it into a wind blade and tries to block against Asta's katana, which he managed to, and Asta was surprised. This is where Asta realizes this guy's mostly seems to be a good fighter and not katana, mostly a sword fighter. But this is where, well, the person says, there's no need to be violent. This is where he's now in a stance, but he's still butt-ass naked. Asta sweats up and says, put on some damn clothes before I fucking kill you. This is where, well, the red hair guy says, oh, right, this is where he goes into the bushes and then appear back again with his clothes and say, okay, I'm ready. Never mind. This is where Asta right now just rushes straight towards, well, the red hair guy. The red hair guy blocks a sword swing that was actually aimed for his neck, but he managed to block it. And this is where, well, he's like, damn, this guy's fast. He doesn't even know about the Mage Killer entirely, so of course he doesn't know about Asta's reputation. This is where, well, Asta kind of, well, grabs the Grimoire and pulls out mostly his, well, multi-inverted spirit of heaven that right now has anti-magic in it. He then swings it towards, well, Fanzo. Fanzo dodges, and this is where Fanzo was like chuckling, saying, huh. Wow, what an interesting Grimoire you have there, and a sword, or dagger, I could say. Weird looking two-blade dagger. This is where, oh, Asta can feel this weird energy on the blade, but he doesn't seem to care. He rushes straight towards, well, mostly Fanzo, and Fanzo kind of says, okay, wind slashes. This is where he sends wind slashes straight towards Asta. Asta right now swings his inverted spirit of heaven right in front of him, slashing down the wind slashes, just nullifying them in an instant. Then rushes straight to Fanzo. Fanzo tries to, well, use his wind sword to block it until Asta just right now cuts through the wind blade entirely and was about to hit Fanzo in the head. Until this where, well, someone sent like these daggers of like mostly ice crystal blades that were almost about to hit Asta. Asta cuts it in an instant. He misses, well, he decides to retreat in an instant, so mostly he couldn't really hit Fanzo, but this is where he cut through the ice crystal blades. And right now, ignoring his eyes right in front of him when he sees a black-haired beauty with mostly violet eyes, but yeah. This is where, well, while mostly he kind of sees the female right now in front of him, this is where, well, she seems to be quite short, but this is where, well, she's right now protecting the red hair. This is where, well, Asta says, so annoying you are. Who the fuck are you people anyway? First the guy who fucking was freaky as hell with the boar, and then now you? Who the hell are you? This is where, well, mostly the blackish hair girl is still having a mostly crystallized diamond, or mostly looks to be like ice knife. And this is where, well, mostly, let's just say, whatever, you people are annoying me. And this is where, well, Asta kind of just like looks at them and just says, you people don't even have boundaries on you, I don't think so. This is where, well, the red hair guy says, oh, come on, kid. So what's your name? Why the hell do you assume that I'm a kid? Well, I mean, I'm probably older than you, and I'm just guessing. There's not much other thing that I can tell you. This is where, well, Asta scoffs and says, well, you're wrong. I'm basically... Asta wanted to lie, and this is where, well, before he could lie, the ice kind of ice knife actually went towards his face. This is where he was about to block it, but mostly it kind of hit his kind of face. Well, I mean, it did get blocked. Mostly he kind of grabbed it, but it was still close to his like mostly mask, and this is where it kind of just managed to shatter. This is where, well, showing off his face. This is where, well, he scoffed at the fucking female. This is where, well, mostly Asta says, you bitch. And this is where, well, mostly she kind of smiles a little bit with the mostly cheekly grin and says, huh, managed to get you. This is where, well, Asta crushes the knife in his hand and just glares at her. This is where, well, mostly fans says, oh, you are a girl. I mean, not girl, you are a kid. Okay, good to know. This is where, well, Asta looks at mostly fans and says, I hope you are, well, I hope you're praying to your gods, because I'm ready, I'm fresh, all out of mercy, because I'm gonna kill you bastards. This is where Asta right now pulls out another sword. Right now pulls the inverted spear of heaven away. He pulls out another sword and rushes at both of them. This is where both of them right now wind their eyes at the speed. This is where, well, right now the ice user mage right now using an ice wall. But of course, this is where, well, she wasn't expecting right now Fanzo to block a strike that was actually aimed for her. This is where, well, she won her eyes. This is where, well, Fanzo right now uses wind slashes strike towards Asta. Asta cuts through them in an instant, rushes straight to Fanzo. Fanzo right now blocks another strike. This time he tries to block it, but this is where he realizes there's another sword aiming for his stomach. An ice wall appears, but the ice wall wasn't enough because the thing right now just pierces through the, well, mostly wall, stabbing him in the stomach. He won his eyes. This is where, well, right now, well, the girl is named, well... So right now, this is where, right now, well, how should I say? Before mostly anything else can happen, this is where, well, her name was Mariana, and this is where, well, she was kind of right now just shocked to see Fanzo get cut. But this is where, before anything else happens, this is where a bunch of diamond mages actually appear. This is where, well, like diamond from Diamond kind of Kingdom. This is where they say, huh, it looks like Fanzo and also Mariana are here, or yeah, Maria, are here to be captured. Kill the right now Clover mage and capture them both. This is where, well, Asta notice all the mages right now sending attacks towards him. This is where Asta says, you annoying bunch. This is where, well, he pulls out the heaven, well, mostly the inverted spear of heaven right now, cuts all the kind of attacks to swing around, and this is where they all get destroyed. This is where the person winding his eyes that, well, it looks to be the leader, and this is where Maria kind of says, I thought we had a deal here. This is where the person says, well, we don't. Now kill them. This is where, well, we'll see. Before any of the mages can continue on, they get their heads pop off in an instant. Asta right now pulls out a gun and start popping their heads off. Pop, 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 pop. Asta is getting more annoyed. This is where, well, Asta says, I swear to God, this fucking thing is annoying. This is where, well, the person right now glares and sends a very powerful stone kind of fist right towards Asta. Asta pulls out the anti-magic blade, the huge ass blade, swings it straight towards the mostly arm, cuts through it, and then sees the guy, and right now uses the blade itself to stab it through the guy. Right now piercing his stomach. Even if it's a dull ass blade, it doesn't matter. It just pierces through his stomach, killing him in an instant. Asta says, fuck you, you damn assholes. This is where, well, right now, Fanzo and mostly Mario kind of sees how scary Asta entirely is. Truly, they are fighting against someone scary, and it looks like he can just nullify magic entirely. This is where, well, Asta kind of looks towards the other two, and this is where both of them say, we surrender. We don't want to fight anymore. This is where, well, Asta says, well, you should have thought of that before daring to attack me. This is where Mario says, we surrender already, goddammit. Why are you so insistent to kill us? Well, entirely, I thought you guys didn't have a bounty. But you guys might have a bounty. So, do you guys have a bounty? This is where Mario and Fanzo kind of just look at each other and say, no. Perhaps not. We probably, the only thing that we have is a bounty from Diamond Mage because we left. But other than that, I don't think so from here. Asta sighs because he doesn't really want to go to the Diamond Clover, well, not Diamond Clover, the kingdom to just get the money from these two. This is where he sighs and says, whatever, I'm out of here then. This is where, well, before Asta can leave, this is where, well, mostly Fanzo says, wait, you're an assassin, right? Huh? Yeah, why? What if I ask you to help us in a little quest? And what's that? Can you assassin all, well, I mean, not all, mostly assassin, well, not assassin, just become a bodyguard for us, please? Fine, I'll be a bodyguard for you then. But you're gonna have to pay up, because I am not going to do this for dirt cheap. Yeah. This is where, well, right now, Fanzo pulls out like this. Fanzo kind of like pulls out his grimoire and pulls out like this wind bubble right next to him. And this is where he kind of tosses it towards, well, mostly, well, also, and it pretty much just has some jewelry on it. Mostly like this jewelry, diamond, and other stuff. This is where, well, Fanzo says, that's some stuff that I have. I have in a space bubble, and I'm willing to pay for mostly us to be protected. Right, Mario? Mario's like, well, I need to, no, you're not going back. Fine. This is where, well, mostly Asta looks at the jewelry and says, fine, you got my interest. Okay, there. General. No, I'm not a general no more. Okay, there. Red hair. I guess I'll protect you and your daughter. This is where Mario says, he's not my, whatever. This is where, well, we go into a time skip later on. Asta has been killing mostly these diamond mages that dare to try to attack his, well, mostly, well, kind of, payers, but yeah. The people that are paying him. Well, mostly Fanzo and Mario. Well, Mario's not really paying, but yeah. They meet up with Donna still, like, yeah, like original canon, blah, 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 whatever. But they haven't really met up with the, mostly Black Wolves or any of that, but not the point. Yes, you know what to take the kind of, like, mostly, Golden Dawn, well, not Golden Dawn, he took on the, what's it called? The exam, became a Golden Dawn, that still would have went the same original canon. It's been about 6 months, but yeah. Other than that, for right now, I gotta kind of end it off here because I gotta go somewhere. But yeah. But other than that, bye, so, and yeah, bye-bye.